Hi everyone, it's Jody McRoberts. I'm doing this video as a response to what happened to Charlie Kirk yesterday. So I just want to say right off the bat, no matter where you are at with the political or cultural spectrum, I'm not going to really address political or cultural issues. I really have a message that's for everyone, and really it's a call to action no matter who you are. So I encourage you to stay tuned and to hear me out on this. So yesterday, I just want to first of all say that across the spectrum, I think we can all agree, 99.99% of us, that murder is always wrong. What happened yesterday was really a vile, wicked thing, and murder is never right. If that person had been, let's say, someone on the opposite end of the political spectrum, like Kamala Harris, I would have still been as grieved and angry because it's wrong. So I was at my computer yesterday when this happened. I happened to be on a website where a news article popped up saying that Charlie Kirk had been shot. So immediately my thoughts and prayers went out to him and the family, and I just kept him in my thoughts. And then I got the news that he had died, and I was shocked and saddened and angry. And, I began to see a lot of different things that people are posting, where we're at in the political spectrum, and just a lot of, noise and opinions out there. And what I want to say today is that something that's really caused sadness in me over the years is seeing kind of an us against them mentality, where people can be really, mean and nasty to the other side, no matter where they're at in the political spectrum. And it's really been a sad thing to me to see that we lack civility and really listening to other people and being able to share our opinions without pointing fingers. And really, my goal is to encourage all of us to really think about how we're responding and what we're saying and what that looks like, and then in the thoughts and intents of our heart, what's going on inside of us. So really, I felt yesterday I need to have some sort of a response. This is part of my response, but another big part of my response is I'm actually going to spend some time just thinking about what's going on in this culture, our nation. And I'm a person that prays too, so I'll be praying. But next Monday at noon, that's Monday, September 15th at noon Eastern time, I'm going to go to a public place. I'm not going to have signs or banners. No one's going to know what I'm doing. And I'm just going to spend some time, thinking about how does our culture need to change? What can we do? I'm going to look at some notes I have here. There's some phrases and things that I like to focus on that help me when I'm really trying to be a good neighbor and care for people. So I'm going to read some of these things. So, love and care for others as we love and care for ourselves, and treat others the way we want to be treated. And there's some qualities I like to focus on: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control. And against these things, there's no law against any of those things, right? These are good things. And also, I don't want to speak harmful words, but I want to speak words that build others up. So I don't want to have any bitterness or uncontrolled anger or slander or malice, anything like that in my heart. I want to be kind. I want to forgive others. I want to be quick to listen and slow to speak and slow to get angry. Now, anger is not a bad thing. It's what we do with it. So when I get angry, I always try to feel like, or to say, what can I do with this anger? How can I use this anger in a really, really good way? And when I get angry, I try to use that as a springboard for good things. If there's something that's not right, if I've been treated wrongly by a family member, friend, whatever, I see something in the culture, what can I do to bring good things to the situation? So I just want to speak the truth in love. I do this with my family. They know me well enough that, if I see something going on in their life that I think that they need to shift and change, I don't just, burst it out and rude to them, but, I'll take some time to talk to them and share what I'm seeing in their lives. And I have freedom. I want people to do that with me. I want people to be able to speak the truth to me when they see I'm doing something wrong. And I want to think about things that are true and right, honorable, pure, beautiful. I love to sit outside. It's amazing getting out in nature and just watching looking at the clouds and watch the breeze and the trees and listening to the birds and, all those sorts of things. Think about things that will build us up. And as much as possible, live at peace with others. We're not always going to agree with everybody, but what can we do to live at peace in our own household, with our neighbors, coworkers, classmates, people in the community? What can we do to live at peace? And then as we think on these good things, really our mindset gets renewed, it gets restored. So again, no matter where you're on the political spectrum, I encourage you to really be thoughtful and even prayerful, for those of you that pray, about how can you take what happened yesterday, because a lot of people across our nation, maybe across the world, are affected by what happened yesterday. And, so we need to think about this. And, every day we do have other, we have things that aren't right in our culture, our nation, and around the world. It's good to take some time. One thing I want to say here is there can be so much noise in modern culture because of our gadgets, our phones, where, there's so much social media. There's so many choices, what we listen to, what we watch, even, we can go out to eat. We can do all these things. We can be so filled in our minds that we're not taking the time to really be quiet and still. I think it's a really healthy thing for our minds, for our bodies, to take times where we can focus on things. It's like a reset. And that our minds, we get uncluttered. It's like this, that you may go to a concert, you're having fun or whatever, but it's really loud, right? And when you get away, it's like, wow, that was fun, but that was really loud. It's nice for your ears to have a rest. Maybe the same thing with a big party. Or sometimes, like if I'm flying an airplane, I'm in a noisy part of the airplane, get off, it's like, wow, my ears are ringing. I'm glad it's not so noisy anymore. Sometimes we need that in our minds. We need to take time, and we need to just get away and really have a reset. So my encouragement to you in the midst of this is, you be careful what you say. Think about what you say. I'm not saying don't speak the truth, but whatever you're speaking, speak it in love, speak it in care, and really send up thoughts for those of you who pray. Pray about everybody affected by this. Pray for your family, neighbors, culture, whatever it is. Find out what your job is to do things that really are caring for others. I do want to say, again, I'm encouraging people to spend some time next Monday, September 15th at noon. To set aside an hour to spend time, reflecting on what your role is in the culture to end division and strife and to bring more peace. If you're local, you want to hang out with me where I'm going, send me a private message. I can let you know where I'm going to be. And if you can't meet that day and time in the work, you find another time. If it's like, that's an hour, that's too long. Well, you know what? When you take these things, you can break them down and there's so much you can think about. But if that's too long, do 30 minutes. Spend some time where you can really be focusing on what can you do to bring change in a way that's going to build up and make us stronger and really care for each other more. So thanks for watching this, and have a great day.